Hey guys! I don't know if this is recording, I'm using different software this time, but I'm doing a review this time. Um, I recently watched a movie, Legion. Um, it, I don't know when it came out, it was probably a few years ago now, but it's actually quite a good movie. Basically, the main premise is God has disappeared and the angels have decided to declare war. Um, And yes, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you want to watch the movie first, then and there's also a TV show as well that kind of it's like a sequel or like a this is what happened next kind of thing, and I'll be talking about that later. Um, but yeah, if you'd probably want to watch them first and then watch this because I will be going into detail about certain events in the movie and characters and things like that that would kind of give it away, like give away certain plot points. So yeah, um, you might want to pause if you're watching this now. You might want to pause it and then watch the movie and the show, and then come back to this because otherwise it'll ruin things. And I will post that in the about part for this thing, and I'll also post it in the title to kind of warn you, so people don't watch it before watching the things. But yeah, that's just great. I'll getting back to the review. Um, Basically, if you're very religious, depending on how I don't know offended you get by different things depicting religion, you might or might not want to watch it. Um, I actually found it quite interesting. Um, I like the idea of God disappears and then the angels kind of I don't know have free reign to do whatever they want, and some of them decide they're going to destroy human like mankind. Um, but I also like that Michael, the Archangel, decides he's going to be the one angel that sticks up for humans. Um, I like kind of, especially since later on in the TV series, it kind of explains that historically, well, within this, movie and TV series world, um, Michael was the one who, whenever he was told by God to go down and, slaughter humans because they were misbehaving, he would do it. And Gabriel back then was the one that would try and stop him because he was like, dude, it's not good. You're like murdering everyone. Whereas when the movie starts, Michael's the one trying to stop them, and Gabriel's the one being like, we need to murder all the humans. So I like that there's that. They've both kind of switched roles. They've both like changed their opinion. Um, it The movie is brilliant. Like I really loved it. Um, the casting was great. Um, for Michael was played by Paul Bettany, who um, he voices Jarvis in Iron Man and Avengers. Um, and he's been in quite a lot of movies over the years. He's a great actor. And he was really good as Michael because he had that kind of calm, you know, this is how screwed up everything is when he would talk. Like, you get some actors who they kind of freak out a bit too much, like, as the character when something bad's happening. But he just keeps that calm, kind of, yeah, this is bad, but let's get down to business kind of. And I think that works for Michael, can both because he's an archangel and he would have that kind of steady, calm persona, but it also works because Paul Bettany is an actor. In a lot of dramatic stuff that he's done, he does that, and it just, I don't know, it just somehow works. I mean, that's just for me, but like other people might not like him. But he has a very, I don't know how to describe it. He's good in the role. Um, and Gabriel was cast well as well in the movie. I don't know if most people would have heard of Kevin Durand. He was in Dark Angel, and he's been in plenty of movies over the years. Usually plays the bad guy. Um, and he was very good as Gabriel. Um, like he didn't oversell the "I'm the evil angel trying to kill everyone" part. Um, and then there's a few other, like most of the human cast are, you know, a lot of I think Randy Quaid is pretty well known. Oh, was it Randy or Dennis? I think it was Dennis Quaid. I don't know. Um, but he's pretty well known. But most of the other ones are mostly TV stars rather than some of them have been in movies, but they're mostly like they would be better known from TV shows that they've done rather than movies that they've done. Um, and for fans of Arrow, um, oh, I can't remember the actress's name, but she plays um, Thea, Oliver Queen's sister. Um, and she's in Legion in the movie, and she's pretty good. Um, um, like I guess there is kind of a apocalyptic feel to the movie, like sort of a end of the world kind of. Um, Lots of people getting murdered. Um, there's a lot of really cool twists where you think you know what's going to happen and then something completely random happens. Like there's a moment in the movie, again, if you haven't seen it yet, go see it first. There's a part in the movie when there's a man and his little boy pull up to the diner slash gas station and to get petrol, and then all these people that have been possessed by the angels come running in to try and attack them. And of course, Michael and some of the others that were in the diner when everything started have are standing on the roof with like machine guns and that kind of thing, and they're basically yelling at the guy, being like, "Get back in your car and get out of here because you're gonna die." And the guy doesn't manage to get to the car in time, and the little kid is still in the car, and so um, I can't remember who it is, but one of them on the roof. It's Tyrese Gibson. That's right, from the Fast and the Furious series. His character jumps down to try and save the kid, and he gets to the kid and goes to pick him up, and there's all these people possessed by angels standing around him, and he's got a handgun, or I think he might have actually had an automatic weapon. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but um, he's standing there, pointing it at them all, trying to make sure none of them get close enough. And then the little kid, who looks like he's maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6, starts humming this random tune, and the camera kind of comes around so that it's behind Tyrese Gibson's, like it's showing the kid in his arms, showing the kid's face, and he's just like, the kid looks at him, and he seems normal for a second, and then his voice changes, and he goes, "Fooled you," in this really creepy tone, and his eyes go black, like completely black, and his teeth go weird, and then he attacks Tyrese Gibson and kills him. And then the girl that plays Thea in Arrow jumps down off the roof to try and save him, and she's the one that's only got a handgun. And she starts, shooting at them all, and then she gets over to the kid and she starts shooting at him to try and like kill him so that he doesn't attack anyone else. And there's no more ammo in the gun. and then Michael comes flying out and saves her. She ends up running into the car, and because and tries to lock herself in the car, and because there's all these possessed people around the car, he sets the car on fire and then pulls her out and takes her back into the diner. But it was an awesome scene. And it was a good twist because you thought, oh, yay, he's going to save the little kid. And then it turns out the little kid's already been possessed. And it was really creepy because, as those who have watched Supernatural and things like that, when they do those kind of scenes with little kids, it gets really, really creepy. Um, but there's great moments like that where you think things are going to go one way and then it completely twists on you. Um, and later on in the show, when you get to the show after watching the movie, there's a few moments like that as well. Um, and again, the show is really good because um, the show takes place about 15 years after the movie. Um, and the idea is the whole way through the movie, they're protecting this pregnant woman because the baby she's carrying is supposed to save mankind later when he's older. And the whole idea is Michael knows that she's going to give birth that particular night, which she does. And then, yeah, he's trying to help her save the baby. And so when the TV show starts, it's years later, and he's like, oh, it must be more than 15 years because he's about 25. So, yeah, it would be about 25 years after the movie, rather. And yeah, he's just a random guy who, for the first few episodes, doesn't even know who he really is. Um, of course, if you're anything like me, from watching the first, opening moments of the show in the very first episode, the fact that he's the first person you see kind of hints that he might be the person, the baby, grown up. Um, but, because, yeah, I kind of picked that pretty much straight away because he was the first person you see, so it's sort of he must be the one. Um, Otherwise, why would they show him first? Um, there's some great cast in the TV series. The only thing is, characters like Michael and Gabriel are completely different actors from what's in the movie, which for me kind of like, I mean, they play the roles really good, but they just play them so differently. Like, Michael's a lot colder in the TV series, um, whereas Gabriel's a lot more, I guess, cheerful, which doesn't really go well with how he was played in the movie because he's very kind of dark and, you know, angry, really. Um, but the actors are very good for the roles. Like, they do it really well. It's just they're completely different. Um, and I'm kind of proud in some ways because it's an Aussie that plays the chosen one, the main, like, the kid that grew up, the baby grown up. Um, so I'm kind of proud in that sense because I'm pretty sure it's an American produced like TV show, and so it's yet another Aussie that's made it over there. So that's kind of cool. Um, but that's just me being, beside the point. Um, it also has Alan Dale, who is also an Aussie, but he's been in a lot of American stuff. He was in Lost. Um, for those that remember, he played Penny's father, the one that owned the ship. Um, and then there's also Anthony Head. Fans of Buffy will remember him as Giles. Um, those that are more recent fans will probably remember him as Uther from the BBC show Merlin. Um, the only thing I didn't like about him being in this show is he does an American accent, and it's kind of terrible. Half the time I can't tell if he's trying to have a southern accent or if he's just trying to do an American accent. Because, yeah, it really doesn't sound that good at all. Um, but other than that, he is a very good actor. And I like that he's kind of evil in this one. Sort of similar to what he did in Merlin, but like not quite as I'm the king, do what I say. It's more he has to be a bit more subtle about it because there's other people sharing the power, so he can't draw too much attention to himself. But it is a great series. The Dominion, which is the TV series, that's the name of it. Um, there's the complete first season is out, and then the second season is currently airing at the moment every week. I'm not sure what day, you'd have to look it up. But it is a very good show. Um, but yeah, you probably want to watch the movie first because it'll give you sort of some background. The other thing is there's um, the actor that, for all intents and purposes, or the character rather, for all intents and purposes, that is the father of the baby. Like he's not biologically, but he ends up, I guess, for lack of a better term, he ends up adopting the kid. Um, the actor is different in the show because he's aged, like, because he's like 20 or something when the kid's born, so he's in his 40s in the TV series, so it's a different actor. But and he's about the only character that, other than Michael and Gabriel, that come from the movie into the TV series. Other than that, every other character is new. But you probably will want to watch the movie first because again, it'll give you um, like backstory kind of thing of when the war started, and then the show continues on and shows what happened to the kid and how he grew up and everything. Um, but yeah, you guys should check them out. So the movie is Legion, um, and the TV series is Dominion. I don't know why they changed the name of the TV series, but because I would have just called them both Legion, but whatever. But yeah, you guys should check them out. They're really cool. Um, and yeah, write in the comments and let me know what you think. Um, I'll yeah, I'll look, read the comments at some point and give me ideas for topics if you want. But yeah, I'll see you guys in another video soon.